Sandana Kadathal Veerappan, which means Sandalwood Smuggler Veerappan. Growing up, I heard a lot about him more than any other average kid of Tamilnadu would have heard because I lived close to the place where he was very active once. So I heard a lot about him, but not as a criminal, but as a revolutionary. This man killed over thousands of elephants, hundreds of people, smuggled over thousands of tons of sandalwood. Clearly a criminal, a gangster, a smuggler. Then how did he turned into a Robinhood? Why people of Tamil Nadu support a smuggler who mercilessly killed hundreds of people? Munasamy Veerappan is a villain the world has never seen before. The hunt for him became one of the longest, costliest and toughest manhunt in the history of India. So here I am presenting the story of India's most wanted criminal with a local twist. Veerappan was born in a village called Gopinatham, which is located on the border of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. His uncle was already a sandalwood smuggler and he was the one who taught him weapon handling. But Veerappan was the first one in that entire locality who started hunting elephants. As the income started increasing by selling the ivory of elephants, it reached to a point where there was no elephant left in the forest. He overdid things and the forest department was in a need to stop him, but it's a huge forest. Searching for a couple of men in the thousands of acres of jungle is an impossible task. So they handed over the job of killing Veerappan to few local rivalries, but Veerappan identified all of them and killed them one by one. Sandalwood is perhaps the world's most expensive wood because of its cosmetic and therapeutic value. So government always had a control over them and it was illegal for any individual to cut down and sell sandalwood. But this man was smuggling thousands of tons of sandalwood, but nobody could stop him. It's a village that's located next to the jungle, so the livelihood of the people was always a question mark. So he started employing the local people and paying them more than they could ever imagine. So people started to see him as a protector, as a guardian, and he really enjoyed that fame. When he was 39, he married a young girl, Muthulakshmi, who was 15 years old back then, and it was a love marriage. On the one hand, he was rising up to fame and enjoying his married life. On the other hand, both Tamil Nadu and Karnataka governments realized the seriousness of the issue and allotted a special police force to help the forest department. This time, the hit on Veerappan was strong. The authorities seized 65 metric tons of sandalwood and burned down the vehicles of Veerappan. Even to this day, that was the largest sandalwood seizure in the history of the whole world. Veerappan was such a short-tempered man. He got so furious and attacked a police jeep, which resulted in the killing of 4 policemen. The fact that a villager, a mere smuggler, had the courage to kill the policeman was a shock to the government. So in 1989, they assigned a special task force to get Veerappan. That's how the serious hunt for Veerappan had begun. The STF thought it would be a cakewalk to catch Veerappan. They had hundreds of policemen. They used helicopters to search through the forest, but they didn't realize that they're dealing with a person who was called as the king of forest. Veerappan knew every nook and corner of the 15,000 square kilometers of forest land. The officers came and went, but none of them couldn't even reach anywhere near Veerappan. But one forest officer, Srinivas, get on the nerves of Veerappan, not by violence, but by ahimsa method. He renovated the local temples, set up medical camps, and built houses for the people. He was very kind and affectionate towards all the people of the village. And he made sure all the needs of the village people are met so that they don't have to depend on Veerappan anymore. Soon the people also started siding with Srinivas, which badly irritated Veerappan. With the trust he gained over people, Srinivas managed to get accurate information of Veerappan's whereabouts. Once the STF team under Srinivas surrounded the Veerappan gang, but Srinivas strictly ordered not to shoot Veerappan. There was one plunder mistake he did, for which he paid a huge price later. That day, Veerappan escaped, but his wife Muthulakshmi, who was 8 months pregnant then, was caught by the STF, and 20 members of Veerappan gang surrendered to Srinivas. Now the members of STF got upset with Srinivas because he gave orders not to shoot, which eventually resulted in Veerappan escaping. To add fuel to the fire, later Veerappan's wife Muthulakshmi also escaped and joined him in the jungle. On the other hand, Srinivas was very closely working with Mariamma, who was the sister of Veerappan. He gave her the job of a nurse. And then the gossiping started that Srinivas was having affair with Mariamma. The gossip started spreading so rapidly that it reached Veerappan. He wrote a letter to Mariamma. The whole world knows Veerappan. I am the king of the jungle now. And what the hell are you doing in the village? Having affair with my enemy? If you're really my sister, pour hot oil over him and kill him. Otherwise, never even show me your face again. That's what he wrote. On one hand, the police was threatening her. On the other hand, the rumor was spreading so rapidly. She couldn't handle it. So she consumed poison and killed herself. Now Srinivas becomes the sole target of Veerappan. Because of him, he lost his own lovable sister. Srinivas was in a good relationship with Veerappan's brother. So Veerappan sent his brother to bring Srinivas alone to the forest, saying that he would personally surrender to him. I don't think even an idiot would believe this, but Srinivas did. He went alone to the jungle to meet Veerappan. As everyone expected, he got killed. He was beheaded and burned down by Veerappan. The body was recovered and the people of the village cried their heart out. With Srinivas, the soft side of STF also gone. Shoot and side orders were made, not just for Veerappan, but for all his gang members. One of the right hands of Veerappan, Gurunathan, was caught and killed by STF. And it's Veerappan we are talking about. Obviously, he had to take revenge, right? At the silence of one night, he attacked the Ramapura police station, which resulted in the death of 7 policemen. Now the STF started getting violent in search of Veerappan. They burned down an entire village in Nallur. Between the ego clashes of these two parties, STF and Veerappan, it was the common people who suffered the most. It was 2 policemen named Shakil Ahmed and Hari Krishna leading the team. One night Veerappan blocked their way and shot them dead. Then comes Rambo, a Tamilnadu police officer who was known for being atrocious with people. He badly tortured the common people, which obviously irritated Veerappan. So Veerappan put up a banner in the market with the intention of provoking Rambo. As expected, he fell for this and went into forest with 2 buses full of policemen. The buses were bombed and 22 people died in this incident. Then both Tamil Nadu and Karnataka came together and formed a joint special force, and Veerappan was always on the breaking news. With all the media attention, the fame got over his head. He gave interview to a journalist sitting in the jungle. Not just that, he also did a photo shoot with all his gang members, even though his wife clearly warned him not to. Till then, people knew Veerappan only by the name. Nobody has ever seen him before. Now his pictures are all over the media. With these pictures, the police identified and nabbed the family and friends of all the gang members. At that time, one barbaric officer took power, Shankar Mahadev Bidri. Hundreds of people were arrested and put into a building called workshop, where the common people were tortured in the most possible inhuman way. People were made to drink urine and women were made to stand naked along with men, and a lot of them got killed. And it was the common people who went through all this torture. Based on this issue, a brilliant Tamil movie was made recently called Vidalai. Most of the information I shared as of now is covered in the Netflix documentary about Veerappan, which got released recently. It's a brilliant work done by the team, which makes you sit at the edge of your seat the whole time. But it's missing one important incident, the Vachate incident, where the modesty of 18 women was outraged by multiple officers in one night, and that includes minor and pregnant women. I don't even want to go into the details of what happened. It's horrifying to even hear those stories. Then Veerappan again attacked a police convoy, which killed a couple of policemen. As a revenge for this, Shankar Bidri picked 8 common men and shot them dead. It was actually the police that was acting like dacoits then. A more sensible officer than this barbaric Shankar Bidri could have really handled the situation better. By this time, the smuggling of Veerappan had almost stopped. Where is he going to get his money from? Once in Minjikuli Hills, he left his wife along with his gang members and went to arrange for money. When he was absent, the STF force surrounded the camp. There were totally 157 members in the that camp. Most of them got killed and few of them got arrested, including Veerappan's wife Muthulakshmi. Now the entire gang of Veerappan is reduced to 6 members. When Muthulakshmi was caught for the first time as a pregnant woman by Srinivas, she was admitted into the hospital and then was kept in her parents' house. She was treated very respectfully back then, but this time it was Shankar Bidri who was in charge. She was tortured in every possible way. But the ego clash between police and Veerappan did not stop. The cat and rat race went on forever. In 1996, he did something so stupid and so courageous at the same time. He started giving video interviews sitting in the jungle. Imagine 2 states are so seriously searching for this guy, but this man is giving video interviews to the media sitting in the jungle, bashing out the politicians. He gave multiple interviews and all of them became a huge hit. People started celebrating him. Now how did a smuggler turn into a revolutionary all of a sudden? Because he came in contact with a revolutionary Tamil militant organization based in Sri Lanka. They inspired him by telling the stories of people like Fidel Castro, Karl Marx, Che Guevara and Prabhakaran. But if we look deep into it, what else he could have done? He lost his business, he lost his people. He did not have any other option. Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala, all the 3 states were eagerly waiting for him to come out of forest. The moment he steps out, he'll be done. He already went too far. He did not start smuggling to bring a change in the society. He did for his own benefits. Only when there was no way to go back or rectify the things he had done already, he turned into a revolutionary. On 30th July 2000, the superstar of Karnataka, Dr. Rajkumar, was staying in his farmhouse in a place called Satyamangalam along with his wife and few other men. Around 9:30 in the night, when they are done with their dinner, Veerappan and his gang members surrounded the farmhouse and kidnapped Dr. Rajkumar along with 3 of his associates. The entire Karnataka started burning. Rajkumar was like a godly figure to all the people of Karnataka. Abducting this man is obviously unimaginable for anyone. When the entire South India was shocked with this news, Veerappan placed 10 demands for the releasing of Dr. Rajkumar. Even earlier, he kidnapped a lot of people like tourists, journalists, forest officials and demanded ransom money for them. But that didn't give him the kind of results he expected. But with Rajkumar, he knew that both Karnataka and Tamil Nadu will be ready to do anything to get him back alive. He was that big of a personality. Well, most of his demands made sense. Few of them sounds ridiculous even for me. All of his demands were about giving justice to the village people who were tortured by the STF and solving the Kaveri water issue between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka and giving a special place for Tamil in Karnataka. The Karnataka government promised that the demands which are legally possible will be executed soon. On the other hand, prominent leaders from Tamil Nadu kept convincing him by explaining the reality. Along with the all other demands, he had one more demand, that is the ransom of 1,000 crores, which was not revealed back then. Apparently, after much negotiation, he settled down for 15 crores. So finally, none of the demands were met other than the ransom money he asked for. Still, he released Dr. Rajkumar, the 72 years old superstar, after keeping him captive for 108 days in the jungle. The surprising part is, apparently Dr. Rajkumar gifted a gold chain to him and ended things on a good note. He also said that they both became good friends over time. Looks like Stockholm Syndrome is a real deal. Again in 2002, he kidnapped H. Nagappa, an ex-minister of Karnataka. The Joint Special Forces tried their best to rescue him, but unfortunately they couldn't. 3 months later, the ex-minister's body was found in the jungle. But there's a twist in the story. Veerappan sent an audio cassette to Nagappa's family claiming that he did not kill him. Veerappan says in the cassette, "I saw a bird considered a bad woman in the forest on Wednesday. Immediately I thought Davaram may attack me. So I decided to change the hideout by shifting my hostage Nagappa. When I was trying to change the base within the Karnataka territory, Tamil Nadu STF attacked us in the Chengadi forest area on Thursday morning. There was an exchange of fire. I asked Setukuli Govindan to return fire and asked Nagappa to run for cover and follow me. He stood like a deity near a rock when the Tamil Nadu force fired at us. A bullet hit him and he rolled down, we escaped. Then I waited for Tamil Nadu to announce the death of Nagappa. Nothing came out. That's why I'm sending this cassette and announcing Nagappa's death, who was murdered by the Tamil Nadu STF. I am not responsible for this. I've looked after him well. This is what he said. After this, just like every other time, he escaped again and the cat and rat race began again. But this time the situation is different. Veerappan got old. He was almost 50. He was tired of running. He wanted to settle down and lead a peaceful life with his family, and his eyesight started deteriorating, for which he was badly in a need to get an operation. So the plan was to escape and settle down in Sri Lanka. On the other hand, it was Mr. Kumar who took charge for the mission. He was calm and composed and an extraordinarily capable officer who earlier worked for the Prime Minister's security. He started doing a lot of affirmative activities and gained the trust of the village people. By this, he managed to plant a lot of informers in the village. Then one man from STF acted as the representative of LTTE, a Tamil militant organization in Sri Lanka. The plan was to get Veerappan out of the forest. As long as he stays in the forest, there is no way they're gonna catch him. So this man acted like the representative of LTTE and supplied weapons to him. After few months, Veerappan trusted this guy and expressed his willingness to go to Sri Lanka. This was the opportunity they were waiting for so long. Finally, on October 18, 2004, Veerappan, the king of the jungle, stepped out of the forest and got into an ambulance that was arranged by the STF. On the way, they stopped the van behind a truck, making it look like they got stuck in the traffic. Before they could sense things, Veerappan, the smuggler, the king of the forest, the most wanted man of India, was shot dead. But quite a lot of questions were raised about this mission. The ambulance had a lot of bullet marks, but Veerappan had bullet marks only in the neck and head, as if he was shot at close range. And Veerappan was someone who would never ever take off his moustache because it was a symbol of pride and authority for him. But it was not there in his dead body. So a lot of theories started spreading. The famous one is that Veerappan was poisoned in the forest and then brought out, and the STF staged everything else. Only God knows what really happened. The entire area where Veerappan's body was kept was jammed and people were queuing up in line to see him. On the other hand, the STF officers were celebrating. Of course, they struggled 20 whole years for this one moment. Both Tamil Nadu and Karnataka hosted grand events to celebrate this victory. Of course, they spent 220 crores and 20 years to catch this one man. All the officers involved in this mission were promoted and was gifted a plot land and 3 lakh rupees each. And all this happened 20 years back from now. Hope you can imagine the worth of that man. I have personally been to his memorial where it's written bravery is planted here. I grew up watching a serial that portrayed him as a hero. Even my own family will be so mad at me for repeatedly calling him a smuggler. But it is what it is. Now who's at fault here? Veerappan definitely deserved what he got. He deserved to be killed. But what about those STF officers who jailed the innocent people, who killed the innocent people, who molested the innocent women? Did they get punished? Did these innocent people get any bit of justice? The answer is no. A smuggler turned into a revolutionary not because he did any good for the people, but because the officers who were supposed to protect the people hunted them down like animals. So the people obviously leaned towards a smuggler because only he had the courage to fight these cruel officers.